just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark. Even got that homebrew flowing.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. In this bulletin, Nasino man charged for allegedly parading as a doctor without qualifications. Sedelpa MP Moses Mbulitavu says leadership should be merit-based and not chiefly status. And Year 10 external exams underway. A 51-year-old man who is alleged to have been operating as a doctor without qualification and registration since 2014 has been remanded in custody. Tokasa Rainima has more.
Paramveer Maharaj of Omka Road in Arere understood the charges when they were read to him in the Nasino Magistrates Court today. Maharaj is charged with one count of using the title doctor without being registered as a medical practitioner, contrary to Section 34 of the Medical and Dental Practitioners Act. He is also charged with one count of practicing and professing as a medical practitioner without being registered as a medical practitioner. His third charge is one count of obtaining financial advantage, where he allegedly took $800 from one Barbara Begum. The incident allegedly happened between the 6th to the 26th of last month. Prosecutors objected to bail, saying it's a serious offense and Maharaj is likely to reoffend, interfere with witnesses, and abscond bail because his family is in overseas. Defense counsel Parmendra Kumar argued that his client had been in custody for more than 48 hours and had presented two sureties for bail. However, Magistrate Sophia Hamza refused bail, saying a proper bail application can be made with the support of affidavits while in remand. Maharaj will reappear in court on the 16th of this month. Tokasa Rainima, FBC News.
Around 15,000 students are sitting for the Fiji Year 10 certificate examination starting today. Ritika Pratap visited some of the schools in the Greater Suva area and files this report.
167 schools are conducting the Year 10 certificate examination, formerly known as the Fiji Junior Certificate Examination. According to most schools, students began preparations at the beginning of the year.
Since term 1, we've started with a preparation for this exam. Our students had appeared in the afternoon classes. We've had remedial classes going on in the morning as well as in the afternoon, including Saturday classes.
We have done a lot of revision. We've done afternoon classes, we've done Saturday classes. They are really prepared well, I tell you.
This year there are 5 new schools which are conducting the Year 10 exam.
It's hard because they were doing CBA and this is the first time they're sitting the exam. It's our first experience, but we really talk to them during form times, assembly, we call assemblies. We just keep on motivating them and we told the teachers to motivate them during class.
The exam ends next Tuesday. This is the inaugural Year 10 exams since exams were scrapped some years ago. Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy has urged students to enjoy the exams and give their very best. Year 10 is an important level since students choose their career path in Year 11. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Civil servants have been warned to cooperate with all investigating arms, even internal departments. This comes after a complaint was lodged by the Finance Ministry against the Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority. Akusita Tale reports.
The government has sent a stern warning to all public office holders to assist in any investigation instituted by a ministry or government authority.
Previously, people have been removed from office a few years ago where they failed to, without any rhyme or reason, wanting to comply with FICAC, even though when they had search warrants and orders to go in from the court to actually seize documents, and there are certain people who weren't facilitating it. So there's obstructing.
A report has been lodged with FICAC against the General Manager of the Customs Division at FERCA after the Finance Minister was shown an email sent out by the particular General Manager last month. The email reads that no customs staff is to allow any ethical standard unit staff into the customs area or disclose any information to them without consent of customs executives. Civil servants have been warned to cooperate with all the investigating arms.
If there is any allegations, you must assist, whether it's your ethical standards unit, whether it's your audit team, whether it is FICAC, whether it is police. We cannot have a critical arm of government apparatus, which is FERCA, not following proper standards.
Syed Qayyum says that while FICAC is continuing with investigations, he is concerned with the ethical standards of management. An investigation team went to FERCA on Friday afternoon and seized some documents and computers. Akosita Talei, FBC News.
Opposition MP Moses Mbulitavu believes there should be a clear demarcation of roles for chiefs who enter politics. Mbulitavu has been behind changes within the Social Democratic Liberal Party to make it more transparent and for decision-making to be more inclusive. Ellen Stahls reports.
There has to be a clear line of demarcation on their traditional role and politically.
Speaking to FBC TV's For the Record last night, Moses Mbulitavu was firm in his belief that leadership should be based on merit and not chiefly influence.
Once they have a vision and they understand the philosophies of democracy, that's when they will know that democracy, it comes from the people to the leader. Whereas in the one way, normally it comes from an elite group of advisors, and from the chief it goes downwards. And that is a difficulty that most of our chiefs are facing when they come into politics.
According to opposition MP, chiefly entitlement shouldn't automatically guarantee someone's political leverage. He stopped short of openly talking about what's happening within his party, but the MP makes reference to the need for more dialogue within SEDELPA.
We were not talking a lot, and I think we need leaders who will hear our voice in a democratic way. And once we do that, and our leaders understand that the atmosphere in every parliamentary democracy has to work that way.
Mbulitavu says selection as a party leader should be merit-based and not through traditional connections, because the principles and culture of democracy apply to political leaders.
There is nothing in the policy of the party which says that that chiefs are to be political leaders of the party, and that we are to always have a chief as our leader.
Mbulitavu also accepted that the Itauke community now have more control over their own destiny with the removal of the Great Council of Chiefs, but maintains that it should have been a more consultative process. Ellen Stahls, FBC News.
After the break, Fijian company to export tobacco to New Zealand.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. Beautiful song from the group Firehouse and When I Look Into Your Eyes. Before that, you heard from Smokey Robinson with One Heartbeat. We'll take a short break and join us in the next hour for more music from Seal. Bulabalaka. I'm DJ Tora. Join me every weekdays, 7 until midnight on the Premium Classics. Right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Farmers in the lower reaches of Momi Bay in Nandi are calling on authorities to tend to their water woes as the dry spell continues in the west. Some 70 families in Savusavu and Tuvuriki, a picturesque cane farming community, say they have been witnessing the full brunt of Mother Nature's wrath since the beginning of this year. Madhyam Balaitamana reports.
This scenic view of Momi Bay does not tell the true picture of the struggles of the people living in this area.
More than 20-25 wells finished, no water there.
So everyone's going right to Nandi?
And yeah, they go to Nini, go to some creeks from the neighbors. They borrow the water from the neighbors.
Amit Chand and those who live here say the dry spell has lasted since February this year. For this family that does not have any transport, cutting water on a daily basis to the nearest water tank also has its downside.
$10. When we go there, the tank is dry, we have to come back again. The transport, they never return the money. It's very hard. Of course, government can do something for us again.
The residents say the solution for them is to move the water tank provided by the government closer to the community instead of the current location a kilometer away, ensuring that cutting water isn't a hassle.
Because some people carry the water from East Bain to go to the public government tank there, one tank. They carry the water for the village, and they, very hard to carry the water. People to give them. No, should be one tank in our village, in the middle of our village, so people can carry the water. That will be easy for them.
The residents hope that those in charge will see to their plight immediately to cushion the effects of the drought. Madhyum Bolaitamana, FBC News.
And we now join Matthew in our studio in Nandi. Matthew, what are the authorities doing to address the residents' concerns?
Jackie, we have been trying to get in touch with the Commissioner Western Manasa Tangitagibau and the Director of NDMO Akapusi Tuifangalele for a comment early this afternoon, but they're currently in a meeting in Suva. We hope to get them maybe sometime tomorrow. But that being said, there is relief work carried out in the Western Division to ease the burden of the drought, with stakeholders pitching in to do their bit. There have been water cutting operations to many affected areas as possible, but the logistics may be a factor in this matter. Jackie.
Thanks for that update, Matthew. A complaint has been lodged against Police Commissioner Major General Ben Huneveld, alleging he obstructed a police investigation involving a foreign diplomat. Chief of Intelligence and Investigation ACP Henry Brown has confirmed that the investigation file is in his office. Brown says the investigators are continuing with their work and more details will be released by his office at a later date. The matter relates to a diplomat in the South African High Commission who was involved in an accident on Saturday night. The diplomat was allegedly under the influence of alcohol and his vehicle hit another, killing its driver. Fiji will start exporting tobacco products into New Zealand in a matter of weeks. In a first for Fiji, British American Tobacco has invested about $2 million in a new export line. Ali Kimbia has more.
British American Tobacco will export around 50 million sticks of cigarettes to New Zealand every year, generating close to $3 million in export revenue.
More importantly, we make a contribution to the growth and prosperity of our beloved nation, Fiji, together with helping the communities that we operate in strive for a better quality of life through our CSR initiatives. Our economic contribution, both direct and indirect, amounts to about $1.2 billion over 5 years.
Rites thus says the opening of the new export line will be a major benefit for the economy.
It promotes growth and longevity of our operation in Fiji and supports the government's vision of developing Fiji as a vibrant, dynamic, and internationally competitive economy, serving as the hub of the Pacific.
Minister for Trade Fayaz Koya, who launched the new facilities, says this will also open up new markets for other manufacturers.
It is now the responsibility of the industry to capitalize on the resources that we have. Therefore, like BAT, we encourage other manufacturers to take the leap into new markets, especially in markets where we have managed to gain better access.
Discussions are already underway for British American Tobacco to further increase exports in the coming years, which will naturally mean more investment, more exports return, and more benefits for Fiji. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Connecting women to markets is the main point of staging the Fiji National Women's Expo, which gets underway next week. Programs for the event were launched today, along with the unveiling of a billboard that supports women in business. Savara Tambua has more.
A strong network has already been put in place connecting women with potential buyers, ensuring there is quality in the market. Minister for Public Enterprise Ayaz Sayed Qayyum says, apart from expos and displays, there should be practical solutions as to how women can be empowered.
If you have various handicraft made in Philippines or China and being passed off as Fijian products, it is not a good thing. You are not gaining the full dollar value from the tourism spend. But if you have authentic Fijian-made, Fijian-crafted handicrafts, for example, then you know that the dollar is actually staying in Fiji.
Sayed Qayyum says the empowerment of women is critical, transcending any group or political differences. A major sponsor of the expo is Westpac Bank, which set aside $65,000 for the art and craft show, focusing on 5 key areas.
And we connect women with like-minded women, and we do that through events and lunch and learn sessions just to empower them, whether it's just building their confidence or empower them through education. And secondly, we empower women through education through the Westpac Women Education Grant.
Women have been chosen from various divisional craft shows to compete during the National Women's Expo.
This expo will not only provide the women with the opportunity to sell their products, but also network with potential buyers.
600 women will be taking part in the expo at the Vodafone Arena in Suva. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
Sports is up next. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thanks, Jackie, and good evening. Coming up in sports tonight, John McKee names Flying Fijian squad for last World Cup 2015 match, and Sighting Commission suspends Manasa Saulo from all levels of rugby for 10 weeks. Details after the break.
छू 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 हे हे नमस्ते फीजी, आपके हर एक प्रॉब्लम की दवा लेकर मैं आ गई हूँ 9 से 12 बजे तक आपकी सहेली रेनू। छू 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 40 में 20 का दिखना है। मैं हूँ ना आपके साथ में मिर्ची एफएम पर 9 से 12 बजे तक मंडे टू फ्राइडे। मिर्ची इट्स हॉट।
Vodafone Flying Fijians coach John McKee has named Fiji's oldest starting team in 12 years for its last pool match against Uruguay at the Rugby World Cup on Wednesday. With an average age of 29 years and 108 days, it will be Fiji's oldest starting 15 since their 41-13 win against Japan at Rugby World Cup 2003. There are 5 changes to the team that lost to Wales. Nemani Nandolo returns from suspension and replaces Aseli Tukoirutuma, who moves to the right wing. Timothy Langusa, who played there against Wales, drops to the reserve bench. Kini Murimurivalu also gets his first start, coming in at fullback for Metusela Talimbula. Suva's Leroy Atalifo also starts at prop. Nemani Nandolo needs 4 tries to equal Fiji's record for most tries held by Sanivalati Laulau, who scored 20 between 1980 and 1985. Meanwhile, Flying Fijians prop Manasa Saulo has been suspended from all levels of rugby for 10 weeks after being found guilty of stamping at the Rugby World Cup. Saulo was cited for stamping the head of Luke Chatteris of Wales in the 23-13 loss on Friday. The suspension that takes effect immediately means Saulo will not be eligible for Fiji's last Rugby World Cup match against Uruguay on Wednesday. Saulo has become the 3rd Fijian player to cop a suspension at the World Cup, with Dominico Wanganimburotu and Nemani Nandolo both receiving 1-match bans for foul play in the past 3 weeks. The Argentina rugby side has increased its chances of a quarter-final berth with a 45-16 win over Tonga. Kurt Morath scored a wonderful 7th-minute try to give Tonga a surprise lead before Joaquin Tukelet and Juan Imhoff scored a try each to seize control. The win leaves Argentina on 10 points in Pool C, 4 behind leaders New Zealand. In another match played today, Ireland survived their scare to hold on to a 16-9 victory over Italy. Here's the only try from the match.
O'Brien alongside him, and Ian Henderson now, what ground he's made with O'Connell in support, and Ireland pouring forward. Carried in now by Robbie Henshaw. Is a try for Keith Earls, and Earls has scored again.
Meanwhile, Fiji's last pool match is against Uruguay at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, and you can watch it live on FBC TV. The court's inter-district championships resume from Wednesday at Bar's Govind Park. The pool still remains wide open after the first round, and all 8 teams still have a chance of making the last 4. Rohit Deo with a wrap-up of the first round.
Wins for Lambasa and Ba, while Suvan, Reketi, Lotoka and Nandi go into the tournament proper with a point each. Reketi surprised everyone, holding the defending champions to a 2-all draw. Nandi had to settle for a point as this goal from Alvin Avinesh secured Lotoka a crucial point, cancelling out an earlier beauty from the jet setters.
Turns away, still Napoleon Ingase drive, and Napoleon Ingase Vakatini in the 26th minute of play.
I think so this strike force is a little bit shaky for us at the time. I think so with Gase coming back again for against Deketi, I think so it should be fine.
Tournament host Ba opened its campaign on a high, but will face stiff competition from Lambasa, which outclassed Arewa in their opener.
Oh, well, normally when I go back, then I'm going to talk about, because we have done statistics about the game, so we will go back and sit down and talk about the game, and then we'll see what are some of the mistakes that they have done and to correct that later on.
In matches on Wednesday, Nandi played Reketi at 1 p.m, Rewa faced Nanronga at 3 p.m. At 5:30 p.m, it's the battle of the cities between Suva and Lotoka, while at 7:30 p.m, Ba plays Lambasa. Senior division, secondary schools and primary division games also kicks off on Wednesday. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
In the English Premier League this morning, Arsenal defeated Manchester United 3-0. In other matches played today, Liverpool were held to a 1-all draw by Everton, while Swansea City and Tottenham Hotspurs played to a 2-all draw. That's your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Fiji Television Limited has requested for voluntary suspension of trading on the South Pacific Stock Exchange. An SPSE statement says this is to ensure that shareholders and the general public are fully aware of information relating to the status of Fiji TV, Sky Pacific and Media New Guinea Limited. The suspension of trading has been effective from Friday. The SPSE listing rules allows a company to apply for voluntary suspension to protect the interest of its shareholders, potential investors, and to maintain an orderly market. The Reserve Bank of Fiji, in its latest economic review, says labour market conditions remain consistent with the positive economic performance. According to the RBF Job Advertisement Survey, cumulative to August, a steady increase of 19.6% in recruitment intentions was noted. In the survey, the main sectors showing high employment opportunities were agriculture, forestry and fishing, mining and quarrying, electricity and water, construction, wholesale, retail, restaurants and hotels, transport, storage and communication and finance, insurance, real estate and business service. Investment activity also remained firm. Fine weather was experienced throughout the group. Southeasterly trades cover most of the southwest Pacific. Meanwhile, a trough of low pressure lies over Tuvalu and extends over to Phoenix. The fine conditions meant that temperatures were warm all over the group. Mombasa hit 32 degrees today, while all other divisions were in the high 20s. Expect cloudy conditions in Suva and Savasava tomorrow, while all other major centres should see fine weather. And further outlook is fine apart from brief showers over the eastern and interior parts of the main islands. Cool nights, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots and up to 30 knots through the passages. Rough seas, very rough through the passages, moderate southerly swells. And recapping the main stories tonight, Nasino man charged for allegedly parading as a doctor without qualifications. Sadelpa MP Moses Mbulitavu says leadership should be based on merit and not chiefly status. And Year 10 external exams got underway with close to 15,000 students taking part. Results from last week's poll question, we had asked, are there enough litter bins in public places? 84% answered no. This week we're asking, do Fijians show civic pride? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply #FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Bye for now.